Hey guys, it's Iblis here coming at you guys today with a updated Prophecy deck profile. I really wasn't too fond of the last one I wound up posting here at the start of the format, so I figured, hey, let's go ahead and give you guys an updated deck profile. This is gonna be the last Prophecy build I probably do for a while, just because this deck has not been liking me lately, and I don't know why, but I've been doing terrible with it. I did not really playtest this build, but this is a ethereal build that I would go in with if I were to play this deck again after the last build, which the last build I played was the one that you guys saw here on the channel. But yeah, this is the deck that I would consider playing if I were to play Prophecy more. I'm not a big fan of the world build. It doesn't appeal to me. I just draw terrible with it. I don't like the way it plays. I prefer the just straight up Priestess build. And I'll go through the deck list and explain some of my card choices, and we'll go and get started. And again, this will be the last Prophecy build for a while. Probably won't be. I don't even know if I'm going to be playing this deck next format, depending on what happens, but we'll see.
So to start off with, we have, there we go, 2 Priestess, 2 Breaker, 2 Midolce Magdalene, 3 Justice, 3 Magician, 2 Veiler, spells, 3 Secrets, 2 Master, 2 Tower, 2 Wisdom, yeah, I mismatched Wisdoms, 2 Power, 1 Fate, 1 Life, 1 Eternity, 1 Crescent, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Book of Moon, 1 MST, Traps, Bottomless, Torrential, Compulse, Warning, 2 Mirror Force, and 2 Phoenix Chain. Extra deck being Kappa, Gachi, Digestal Phoenix, Shining Elf, Downer Magician, 101, Key Beetle, Big Eye, Dragosack, Master of Blades, Armades, Vulcan the Divine, Stardust Spark, Scrap Dragon, and Star Eater. So to go ahead and run through the monsters, I again do not like World, so I play 2 Priestess. Level 4 spellcasters, I'll go ahead and explain. Breaker and Magdalene. Admittedly, I love Breaker so much this format. It's probably one of my favorite cards this entire format. Pretty much, like, especially when the fact that your Lance doesn't decrease Breaker's attack, you can just summon Breaker and they either let you get rid of their back row or they have to use the back row to get rid of him. And if people try and go Phoenix Chain on you, you can just Wisdom. And then with the Wisdom, like on the Breaker, you can go and get rid of another back row, have Breaker attack, then he's bound by Phoenix Chain, but that's not that big of a deal. Plus the fact that he makes good overlay material, which honestly, Key Beetle is like the only extra deck card I ever make in this deck. The Magdalene goes back to an older theory behind Prophecy, where you pretty much always want to try and keep at least 1 monster. So shuffling between your 2 Magdalenes just helps. If you were to bump Magdalene up to 3, I don't know what I would cut, but I would consider adding a Midolce, Queen, Tiara, Masu in that case. 3 Justice. I think Justice is infinitely superior to Temperance. I don't like Temperance at all. And sorry for that weird noise. I just don't like... I don't know, I don't like Temperance. It's not a card that I've ever really been fond of. I always thought Justice was just better. And then I'm never playing this deck without Veiler again. Oh my god. Like, when I was playing this deck last, I was so mad that I never had Veiler in my game 1. Even though I had Fiendish Chain, I was just wanting Veiler. I don't know, Veiler just felt better to me. Spellbooks. I like 2 Wisdom, 2 Power. I know some people are going to be like, oh, that's so bad. I disagree with that completely. I feel like this is amazing. Wisdom right now, with how much back row there is, I feel is just so good. Not to mention, with the 1 MST, the 2 Wisdom, and the 2 Breaker, you basically have 5 back row stoppers. And I guess with Priestess you have like 7. So I like it. I would not change this, especially the Wisdoms right now. Power is really good because the fact that it just lets you run over problematic monsters and get your free spellbook searches. And I just think Power is too valuable. I always go through multiple powers a game, so I would not change those at all. I don't like more than 1 Eternity. I never had the need for it. I almost don't even like the 1, but I'm gonna keep playing it. And the 1 Crescent I want to go and talk about. So after talking with the guy who I believe got top 4 at YCS Sydney, which I believe was in Australia, we wound up talking about this and pretty much like, or at least I talked to a friend of his, I should be saying, not really him himself, and about the whole Priestess Justice thing, and he was talking to me about Crescent. And I was like, oh, I really don't like Crescent because I feel like if you get it late game, it's just bad. And he's like, yeah, I can understand that. However, he told me to just try the 1 Crescent. I immediately tried the 1 Crescent and I loved it. Getting 1 Crescent off the game puts you in a completely different game state. Yeah, you want to see it early, but you know, I feel like it's better just to have more consistent cards compared to like seeing that one play more consistently and having more inconsistent cards in the deck. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't really like the more than one crescent, but what can you do? The one Dark Hole and Book of Moon, one MST. You want to stop tanky, so that's the one MST. As for the traps, I actually found that I wanted more compulses as I kept playing this deck. I really wanted to see compulse more and more because of the fact that there were monsters like, I mean, weird random stuff, but like I wanted it for those rogue matchups just to get rid of problematic monsters. So I really want to play this. I almost wish we could play 2 compulse, but I don't think I'm going to cut a compulse anytime soon. And then double mirror, force double chain. I might add some more battle stoppers, but I'm not exactly sure. Like, because I feel like Deep Prison's kinda right now because of Bujin. But we'll have to see. Extra deck notes. If you want to, you could add a Herald of Pure Light. I again just rarely hit my rank 2s. I'd probably cut Kappa for the Herald, but I just BS this extra deck like not too long ago, so yeah. Out of the rank 4s, I like the rank 4s. I only ever make Kibido. Like Kibido's the only extra deck card I ever see. So there's that. I'm not playing Hierophant just because I had to cut it. I needed the space for other cards. So that's pretty much why I cut Hierophant. Excuse me. And then next to the synchros, these 5. Armades could easily be a catastrophe upon your preference. I just wanted to play Armades just because I like Armades. Or it could even be Hyper Librarian if you really just feel like the spellcaster factor is too important. Vulcan lets you bounce back cards and just lets you bounce back cards that you have spares of and then easily just without the opponent. Like you can bounce back a Spellbook Magician, so that way you have a search next turn. You can bounce back a Fiendish Chain that's dead. You can bounce back a Tower and just play it next turn. You can bounce back a lot of random stuff and it's just nice to have. And then Star Eater, I guess, is the weird one. Star Eater is mostly in here for if you have a Priestess, the Spellbook of Life, and a Justice and Veiler to play. Whereas you can summon the Priestess, banish Justice, special, summon Veiler, then from there you can go Star Eater. It's a ethereal thing, this could easily be cut. I mean, again, it's Prophecy, so your extra deck doesn't matter too much. If I were to change anything, I'd consider main decking 2 Pot of Duality. I've really been considering Duality again in this deck. Because the last time I played it at Tinley Park, which I don't believe I uploaded that deck profile. But if I were to play this deck again, I would probably consider Duality, since Duality was one of my favorite cards in Prophecy. But that's about it for this deck profile, guys. I probably won't be playing this deck again for a while, so you probably won't see any more lists of it from me, which I'm sure some of you are glad because you think my build is garbage. But nonetheless, this is my attempt at a better Prophecy build. I admit I wasn't too fond of the last one after actually playing it more and more. But that's about it for now, guys. I mean, if you want to suggest stuff to me, go ahead. I would be willing to listen, and maybe that would make me pick up this deck again. But for now, that's all I've got. I don't really have a side deck I'm going to be posting. I don't feel like you should be copying side decks. Make your own. Like, side stuff. I mean, I guess the only real card I'd recommend is Tsukuyomi. Just because I wound up realizing that thing was so good yesterday for me. Or not yesterday, like a few days ago when I played it. Tsukuyomi, Defissure, DNA Surgeries, Decrees. Just side whatever you feel like you would need most or would prefer. And again, you can always bump up the Crescents if you really want to play the Triple Crescent build. I mean, do whatever you want. This is my personal build of this deck. And that's all I've got for now, so until next time, guys, later.